So this week we're back at an auction and we're going to talk about a really nice late model retirement line with Kevin. But we walked around and looked at, we talked about choppers, including one of the first Deere self-propelled forage harvesters they built, old chopper boxes, Titan combine, Ford 9000 tractor, their blowers, you name it. Like, we looked at some really cool old stuff. So we're at your summer consignment sale in Kenyon, Minnesota. And we're
here in Kenyon, Minnesota.
And it's Saturday.
This coming Saturday, 8:30 start. We're going to be running 2 auction rings. We have the farm retirement line of Randy Reese, a lot of later model equipment, and we have other consigners that have some really nice equipment also.
Some full lines.
Yes, full lines.
And we went through, we just spent an hour and a half walking around, and I pointed out some of the stuff that I really think is cool that probably doesn't mean the world to many of you, but for some of you guys, you're going to be like, oh, I haven't seen one of those in how long? And what a variety, and really old, nice livestock stuff, which is getting harder and harder to find for small, and with cattle prices are like the one bright spot in agriculture today. And there's some really nice cattle stuff here.
And yeah, it's an open consignment that we take in from other farmers. We do have the farm retirement line, but yes, we're going to look at some other tractors that are other local consigners also that brought some nice things for us also. So we'll take a look at some of them as we go.
Yeah, so from this stuff to a 4620 to a 9000 Ford and a 5400 John Deere self-propelled forage harvester over there, and a lot of chopper boxes. I really like chopper boxes right now because I want more for my cattle. So, and my wife would be really mad if I end up buying that stuff. So this 4620, when you pull into the yard, is right out in front, and immediately I went to it because I love this era. You wouldn't have a 1456 International if you didn't have a 4620 John Deere, which I guess the 4520 came out first, but that was the competition at the time. That was the big row crop horse, besides the 6030. But this thing is really straight. I think it's been repainted, but I mean, it is not beat up. Maybe it hasn't been repainted because that is a Deere decal yet. And the hydraulic filter housing has got pretty old numbers written on it. So maybe that is original. Boy, I bet you could buff that up pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if that's original paint or not, but I know it's a nice straight old tractor with good look with the auxiliary fuel tank and the turbo too. This was a big time tractor back in the day. You got, still has the floor mat in it.
It's both. Yep.
Interior really, really nice. So the nice thing about a factory cab on these, the dashes are just always clean and crisp. So 63 hours. I guess I'd believe it's supposed to have 3,500 hours on the overhaul. Look at how straight that hood is. Steering wheel center, that's the correct steering wheel center cap for a 4620. So you want it to be a 2-legged Deere instead of a 4-legged Deere, and say power steering. We went to the 30 series, the power steering went away, just a 2-legged Deere. So that's correct for that. Dual remotes. It's straight. Really, really is. This local consignment.
Yep.
Okay. And even the doors aren't all smashed up, cracked out. It's got the taillights or lenses are still on there. Yeah, it's just not all beat up. I love that. the original bumper sticker for John Deere snowmobiles up there. That's cool.
Yeah.
20.838 it looks like. What? Yep. So yeah, fun fact about the 4620, first factory intercooled farm tractor. So this is really, really neat. And I mean, there's a bunch of muscle tractors on here. I'm not a big blue tractor guy, but if you're into blue tractors, this is about as cool as it gets. So when it comes to Ford muscle tractors, the 9000 was like I think this was the first turbocharged Ford tractor. I could be wrong, so don't tear me apart, but I have always thought these were really cool. And I would guess original paint, and Owatonna Ford, we're not that far away from Owatonna at all, so that would be right. Looks to me like a pretty original tractor. Cozy cab was maybe put on when it was new. I don't think the Ford factory cabs of that era were anything great. But those are ancient Goodyear tires, which tells me those are probably original relatively. I mean, they're maybe not the original tires, but those tires are very, very old, which would be right. 20.8s, because this was a big horse. An 8000 was a good size tractor. Then they put the turbocharger on, you got a 9000. Wheel weights. What I always thought about these, so this is kind of in that, well, it's definitely the muscle tractor era, but late 1960s, if you look at the dash, it kind of reminds you of like a Mustang, and you got these chrome shifters and hydraulic levers and throttle lever, and just a really good look. But yeah, look at that. Look at the gauges. It just, like you said, it reminds you of like being in a Mustang or something. It's a big horse.
The tractor come off a smaller dairy livestock type farm down by that New Richland area.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, really neat tractor. And then right next to it, a very nice 1086. Pretty, looks like a fairly original 1086. Now, I will always say this about a 1086. I'll take a 4440 over a 1086 any day, but that doesn't mean these are a bad tractor. For the money nowadays, I don't know if you can get a better tractor for the dollars. So new inner Trelleborg tires even. Those 18438s or 20.8s on this too. Let's see, 18438s. But got a Matichek sticker on it. That's an old Matichek sticker.
Yep. This tractor's local. Come from right outside of town here. It's come from a guy that we've done some business with over the years. Not a big farmer, not a small farmer by any means, but just kind of a good old original tractor. You don't see them anymore.
Well, and here's what's really cool. 75 pounders on the front. Those are pretty valuable weights. It did get the updated TA. Supposedly those are the good ones. It's got the belt for the AC. I might start believing the hours, because that compressor looks like it hasn't been replaced.
I kind of believe the hours, Ryan, because we sold this gentleman's bigger tractors a few years ago. He had a bigger four-wheel drive, and we sold his planner a couple of years ago, and he's kind of just done kind of local work, and he's kind of been really throttling down, you could say, but good, honest, straight tractor in my eyes.
Well, yeah, and the door hinges aren't all busted up, because the cab doors on these will tell you quite a bit.
Yep.
Because the wind catches them and it kind of messes with them. Cab's not rusted out. She's getting a little bit of rust bubbling, but it's not rusted out. These Trelleborgs are new, basically new. But yeah, that's a pretty nice old 1086 that really hasn't. It doesn't look messed with. I think the seals were on the pump. So, but I mean, that rack of weights on the front is worth quite a bit with being 75 pounders. So,
Yeah.
pretty rare weights. Here's something kind of cool, a Maxim. And I know these tractors are really, people like these. But is it a
20.
5120?
Yep.
It's got a Matichek sticker, I would assume. So 3275 one owner hours, I would assume that was bought new at Matichek's.
One owner.
Yeah.
From an estate.
And it's a state tractor. People really like these Maxims. I've always heard good things about them. That's low hours, and
It's got the double door cab, you know, it's got the left-hand reverser, you know. There's a lot of different options on these tractors.
well, and it hasn't been beat up too bad because it was two-wheel drive.
Yep.
So if you want to do some haying or something, when this tractor was, a lot of these Maxims were ordered new with front-wheel assist and then went right to the feedlot. Where this one, yeah, two-wheel drive like this is really, really nice. But yeah, 3275 hours on it, one owner. And like I said, yeah, right there at Matichek's in Faribault, so right close to home since new.
Come in from over by Denison, about 10 miles from here.
Okay.
Yep, off the Jack Jordan estate.
Yeah.
This is another piece from there too.
Nice little Demco box. Same guy. So small farm, nice stuff.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about a retirement line that's part of your consignment sale. So this Saturday, August 9th is the consignment auction, but there's a full line retirement line in here and some really, really neat stuff.
Yep. Yeah, Ryan, this coming Saturday at Kenyon, Minnesota, we're going to be doing our annual August consignment sale starting at 8:30 in the morning with 2 auction rings. Some of the choice pieces are from the Randy Reese retirement. Randy was south of here a little bit, and we met with him several months back and talked about it all. And he said he wanted to bring things up to our Kenyon consignment sale in August. He's got a lot of nice equipment. He's got his 9670 combine here.
Yeah, which that really, because this is, so 9670, class 6, the last of the pre-emissions. And this one's clean.
Yeah, it's a 2009 model, Ryan.
Okay, so it would be what, 2 years from the very end.
Yep. And we got 2516 on the engine hours and 1582 on the separator.
So really low hours.
Yep.
Duals instead of loggers or 2-wheel drive. Looks like.
And the owner told us also, you know, he worked with a mechanic from John Deere that kind of worked at his shop and helped him with things on the combine. And the owner said the combine's field ready. You know, he didn't change oil on it because it's just not needed quite yet. But other than that, it's field ready. It's a good, clean, local combine.
Did he buy it new?
He did not buy it new.
Okay.
No.
That is, I mean, it's sharp. 100%. It's sharp. 20.8, 38 duals. So it's set up for 8-row, but these will still work 6-row. I know you can run them 6-row, but you're not going to have to swap out the duals or re-weld them. But yeah, these are loved combines.
Yeah.
They're a really, really nice machine. And this one, those are low hours. And he's got 608. Is this a Stockmaster? Yes.
It's a Stockmaster.
What year is this?
It's a 2012.
Okay, so this would be a good year one. I think the later ones were a little better.
Yep.
Row sense, it's got the sensors, I guess.
Just got
Has the combine got auto steer on it? That's a 3000 receiver on there, right?
Yep.
And Yeah, that's, stripper plates look pretty good. There's a little wear, but rolls look nice. That's a nice head. Well, it couldn't have had too many acres on it with,
Nope.
1,500 SEP hours.
Yeah, he wasn't a big farmer, he wasn't a small farmer, but, I was to his place when we were, talking about things for the auction and listing things, he wasn't afraid. Everything was taken care of. If something needed to be fixed, got took care of.
Yep.
Yep.
The bean head is a 630F.
Yep.
So, but 2020. So this is late, because by 2020, for the most part, most guys were buying drapers.
And he said the sickle needed to be replaced. We have a brand new sickle that's going with it. It's brand new in the box.
Okay.
Brand new in the box. He said he just run out of time to put it on there, but it's here. The auger isn't all bent up. It's straight. Full finger.
Yeah, full finger. And if you look at it hasn't even lost all the paint on the doors yet. Fingers look pretty good. This is a 2020 head though, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of paint yet in the trough. Like, pretty nice head. And we all know, everybody says the draper gives you 3 times the yield and you can run in the rain. But I don't know, the auger head seemed to work okay for a lot of people.
Everybody farms a little different.
Yeah.
It all depends. Some people, drapers are for them, and sometimes they like the auger heads and they like what works for them.
Yep. Well, the simplicity of the auger is, they've been around a long time and they work.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his 893 also?
No, that's not his 893.
Okay. But the tractor here is.
Yep.
So a 7730.
Yep. 2008 model.
Is it a power quad or IVT?
IVT.
It is IVT.
Yep.
So, and it is bar axles. At first I seen it was kind of set out. I thought maybe it was a European spec, but no, it's bar axles. Cast wheels. So pretty nice. So it's IVT, not ILS, but is that a 1300 front axle? It looks pretty big axle.
Yeah.
Suitcase weights with the rock box. How many hours on this?
This has about 7,300 hours on it.
Okay. We kept her in the shed because even the exhaust pipe looks good. So yeah, this is
another piece from the Randy Reese retirement.
Yeah, nice tractor. And did this plant, or was that
He kind of used it more of kind of utility things around the farm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But pretty nice, straight. These are a 6.8 liter pre-emission, so snappy engine. And those are 20.8 42s, looks like. By 20 42s, yeah, so 20.8 42 singles, but like I said, it's bar axles. You could put duals on it if you wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a nice tractor. He's got a couple other things.
Yeah.
There was a really nice field cultivator, right?
Yep, we can go. We'll go up there and take a look a little closer.
Well, I just seen on that head there's a Preston equipment sticker on there. That's interesting. So 8360 RT.
2011 model.
Okay. So it's got tillage belts on it, right? These got to be new.
They're, close to new.
Yeah.
But
and these were only IVT, I think, is how you could get them.
Yep. It's got the wide bogey wheels on it, 120-inch stance. There's been some work at John Deere on this. Like I said, Randy, if there's something that needed to be taken care of, he wasn't afraid to spend the money on it and get it taken care of, so it was ready to be used.
And it looks like luxury cab, judging by the leather seat, looks like.
PTO in the back.
Yep, large. It's got the nice lighting package. Rock box on the side. So how many hours? So it had about 5,000 back in December.
5,078 hours.
Okay, so it really hasn't done much
No.
since then.
Yep.
He buy this used?
He bought it used. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But still, it must have been second owner because I can't imagine.
You know, and we've done business with Randy over the years.
Yeah.
And he's always been a good operator. And
Well, this stuff is clean. I mean, really clean. I'll say that.
Mhm.
Is this his ripper?
yes, it is.
So 2730 ripper. This is a little later one then.
Yes, this is. Let me see where we go here.
I don't see a date, but I think a 2730 is. That could be current yet, maybe.
Yeah, there's some that are current out here. It's honestly, the serial number fell off the darn thing because it should be right along in here, and it's not there.
Okay. Well,
But-
it says it's got a SEMA sticker on it, so that would be.
This is the 14 footer. There's
Okay.
a lot of there's bigger ones out there.
Yeah, because how many shank?
It's 7 shanks.
7 shank.
Yep.
So that 8360 RT could pull those.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So,
And look at the disc blades on it. The disc blades.
well, yeah,
You know, look at the disc blades and look at the.
a lot of
It's
paint.
got the heavy tires on it.
Yeah, the big wheels.
Yep.
Rolling basket, so it's got a leveler on the back plus a rolling basket. So, but down by Hayfield, you want that stuff. You want her black in the fall, right?
Yep. Yep.
So,
Real good tillage tool.
well, I mean, look at the rolling baskets; they're not destroyed.
No.
So nice.
Yeah.
Nice looking ripper. And that's his field cultivator.
This is his field cultivator.
That
also.
is nice.
Yep.
Because so you got a 4-bar coil tie and harrow on the back, and I mean, if a digger's been abused, this is where you see it because you'll see these all beat up and welded, and this is pretty nice.
Yep. John Deere 2210, 44.5 foot. You were just talking about the
Yep.
harrow in good shape.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, because look at the harrow teeth. I mean, they didn't repaint these harrow teeth. That's original paint on these teeth.
mhm.
Everything looks tight.
New shells
all the way around.
Yep.
So they are they knock-ons? Yeah. So knock off or knock on. Sweeps on there. And this is not AccuDepth then. Where you got to run it through ISO by the looks of it,
No.
which is really, really nice. So that's a selling point right there. That's a really nice field cultivator.
Yep.
Looks like it comes with a spare.
Yep. Spare one comes with it, but it looks straight. Good shovels.
Yeah.
Very, very nice machine.
Maybe I should just not say anything about this one, and maybe I'll have to bid on this one. And it's got a second hitch.
Yep.
Is that for category?
Bigger hitch.
Okay.
Bigger hitch. That's going to go right with the machine.
Okay.
Your other hitch goes with it. There's some spare.
He
part.
must have been pulling this with that RT there.
Yeah.
Then.
Yep.
So maybe the other, because he had another RT, you said?
Yep. There was another tractor he had that cousin or something bought from him before the auction.
That must have been the planting tractor, because this is his too, the...
Yep. The tender's his also. The hitch stock, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, it don't look used.
No, very, very little, but very handy.
And then this is a high-speed 3-point mount. So this, yeah, must have been pulled by maybe the other planter, but I can see it's got clean sweep on it right away.
Yep, very. And one thing, like Randy said about this planter, more than anything, he says it really didn't take up a lot of room in the shed.
No,
And
no.
you know, and he says you can fold it out, pretty easy to work on if you got to change something.
Yep.
If you go around the back here, Ryan, you know,
And I see he's got a red ball on it. Were they putting like 32 on the back or 1034 or something?
you could do a lot of things with this planter. You know, it's got a lot of the newer technology with it.
Yeah.
It's got the precision in there.
Well, and I see, yeah, they're putting, okay, so starter in the row, so that must have been like your for pop-up. But it's got V-sets.
Yep.
But is that electric
Yep.
drive? Okay. So it's got the speed tubes?
Yep.
Okay. So this is basically a
Yep.
high speed.
They call it a TC machine, a TC machine,
Okay.
PL 1317. You know, it's a center fill planter, and there's 2 different hoppers up there.
Yep.
So you know, if you were doing wheat or other kinds of products, that would work too. But it's, I mean, for this type of planter, it's got the most, I would say, the most up-to-date technology you could have.
Well, it looks like, are those copperhead wheels or Yetters?
I'd say they're probably Yetters.
Okay.
Yep.
So Yetter
And
closing.
it's got a scale with it too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the.
But I don't see no rust. I don't see a lot of wear on it. And
No.
Randy bought it from another previous customer of ours that we know very well, and he only has the best of the best stuff.
Okay.
So I know where it come from before, so that's always important too. Low acres on the planter.
Yep.
I mean, it's something that I guess you almost got to see and feel and touch, and you know, planters, everybody's set up a little different. You know, some people are liquid and some people are dry, and it's like we talked about with the auger heads on the combines earlier. It's really, everybody farms different.
Right. But this, I mean, you could do, it's got the red balls and that, so you could, and a John Deere rake controller, so you could, put fertilizer. I mean, obviously it's set up for fertilizer.
The controller is in there. We are selling a rake controller later in the sale.
Yep.
But it's kind of in there already.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. These are his also.
Goes with the sprayer then.
Nope, these are a separate lot.
Okay.
Yep. But these are for 8,000 RT series saddle tanks.
Okay. So he was probably putting the starter on with these, I would assume, because that's set up. Okay.
Yep.
So, was this his
that's
boom too? Okay,
Yep.
so you could do both then, basically.
Yeah. He was set up to do what he wanted to do, you know.
That's a big boom.
Yeah.
So he used his tractors quite and down there 2 tracks are real popular.
Yep. And then you get down by Hayfield, it's predominantly a lot of row crop area down there.
Right. Okay.
And we have just 8,000 series saddle tanks too, so
okay,
they would fit 8,000 also.
Yep. Now, is that the end of his retirement?
There's trucks and there's some other things.
So
we can go
trucks.
look. We can go look there or wherever you want to go look next.
Well, we'll point out a couple of the other, big, certain, not enough for a wholesale by itself.
No,
but full line. I guess we should say a line that's part of the sale.
Yes, a very, very big part of the sale.
And then there's a bunch of really neat stuff that livestock related stuff that I really think is cool, and forage harvesting, and the muscle tractor lineup on this is impressive. There's a lot of really cool muscle tractors on here. When I pulled in, this was one of the things that I was immediately just like magnetized to. I don't need this, but I find myself wanting to bid on it. This is really neat. 5400 self-propelled chopper. So this would be, early 70s, I would think, a 5400. So hydraulic rear wheel assist, which it does look like the hydraulics have had a bunch of stuff done to them. I would say this is a run and drive.
Oh yeah, this
field ready machine.
This come in from over by Faribault. That's only about 10, 15 minutes away from the auction location. Come off the Warner farm. Martin has just sold his cattle, so he has no use for it anymore. He wanted to get it on the sale here. It's a kind of a neat little unit, and I talked to him a little bit when we were kind of taking it in for the sale, and and he said he's done a lot of work to it to keep it up.
Well, the hoses, I mean, just the amount of hoses that are new on this thing. You might see one of these somewhere, but they're probably just laying out back and need a lot of stuff. I mean, you can see a lot of these parts, new roller chains and, U-joints there on the feeder rolls. Herman implement, that was just over in Wanamingo, that's right. 3-row head, which, I mean, if you had a pull type, you could put this on there too, but I think I'm just judging by the hoses that maybe the rear wheel assist does work, but the other thing that stood out to me, 134 AC that looks pretty new. So I'm guessing the air conditioning blows in this. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I would guess, judging by that Sandin compressor, and
we'll show him another picture of another item he has on the sale, and you'll see the condition that the other item that he has here also.
This is a really, really neat chopper.
Nice farm fresh piece.
Yeah, and I mean, just even if you are a cattle guy and just to open up fields.
Yeah, we had one of these kind of real similar a few years back that we had on the consignment here, and there was a lot of interest in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's a lot of different things that can be done with these units, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, if you want to just even go around, open up fields for silage, chop it for silage because there's no ears along the woods. Mm-hmm. You can get some feed from it.
Yep. But I feel very confident in this item. Martin got a lot of nicer things.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Oh, and 3-row narrow corn head, but 7.5 foot hay head. And it's not a super early one. Judging by the tag, that's a 1980s tag, 80s into 90s tag. So 7.5 foot hay head for this, because there was no 7.5 foot, I don't think, when that chopper was new. So got dolly wheels on it. Yeah, this thing is really neat. I need to not bid on it, but I mean, the cattle would really enjoy me having this, I think. So I love all these old Deere combines, the Titan series. This is just a regular Titan 7720, but kind of neat. It's got Mar extensions on it, which you don't see a lot on these. But 30.5 32s, it's faded, I will say that. But one thing I noticed, it's not beat up. So dial-o-matic, obviously, but look at those shields. And then around here, so the telltale on these combines, when they're just worn right out, there's nothing left of this tube, or they're rusted right out. And this one hasn't been patched or anything. I mean, look at the shoe, that sensor and everything there looks like nice.
Come off a small farm up by Northfield area.
Okay.
Guy's retired. Only got about 3,000 some hours on it.
Well, and it looks like, are those Dickie John grain loss monitors on it? So this is an early 7720. I mean, judging by the serial number, so this could be like a 79 or 80, but maybe that looks like a Dickie John grain loss monitor. So it's kind of got like the side hill sieves on it with them dividers in there. But this thing is really, really straight, which around Northfield, there can be some hills in places. I mean, not like, side hill type of things, but really, really nice old 7720. Now I'm curious about yeah, sure enough, look at that. All right, I gotta go look at that. So check this out. Sure enough, that's a Dickie John setup. Like, so Deere would have, most of these Titan combines would have that display over here where it showed grain loss, but it looked like it was different, and it is. And look at, I don't see any mouse holes in the, because the mice always tear up the headliners in these, but this is a really, really nice combine. So it's showing 38.97 hours. Does that hour meter work? Do you got a key?
Yeah, I can get a key for it. They drove it here.
Because it's got brakes. Most of these don't have brakes.
Okay.
Got a reverser. This is a cool 7720. I shouldn't be down here because now you're making me want to bid on stuff.
Hey, it's a public auction.
Right? So if you buy that 7720 back there and you're going to go on the harvest run, when you get to Canada and they swap their stuff, you're going to need a dummy head. And this is a factory dummy head. This is not a pickup put on like a platform. This is a factory Deere dummy head.
Come off the same farm as the 7720.
Did it?
Yes, it did, Brian.
It wants to get back with its friend and go custom combine it. Wow. You could buy both for the interest, not for 2 months of interest on your brand new X9.
Yes, yes.
You guys know about my cattle again, back into cattle. This is another, I should not be bidding on this thing because we just don't have money laying around, but $39.75 with a kernel processor. Like, I think my wife would understand. I think we could find out if she'd understand or not. You know, kernel processor, well, that alone just makes it
cool.
Yeah. I mean, $39.75 kernel processor, a pair of 7.5 foot hay heads, or 7 foot. I don't know, I always call them 7.5s. But 3-row, 30-inch head. That is not a repainted yellow one. That is definitely a green 3-row narrow. Probably new with that chopper, I would guess.
Yeah, all these items right here, all from the Mark Turchka retirement, kind of getting out of the chopping and getting out of the livestock. The chopper, all the heads. We're going to look at some of his wagons coming up here real shortly.
Yeah, well, we'll start right in on the wagons because these kind of stand out to me because Myers, are these bi-directional? Are these front and rear unload? Yes, yep. So front and rear unload, 16-footer. A lot of times you'd see an 18-footer on a chopper box that's new, but these are 16s. Looking at the floors are nice, and it looks like there's still some paint on the apron. The other nice thing, extensions on the front. So this would probably be one of the nicest unloading boxes ever with those augers with the apron like this.
Ryan, we have, some of his, plus there is probably 5-6 really decent chopper boxes here.
Yeah.
Throughout the sale.
So rear unload. That's cool. So the other Meyer, the other one, Meyer would be a twin to this one, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Probably bought new at the same time. So out of New Prague. But yeah, same setup.
Yep. New floor around 3 years ago. You can see the floor in there.
Yeah.
Double apron chain in there.
Yeah, front and rear unload. And then a Gale, a late Gale. Like this would kind of be the end of the Gale boxes. So steel, of course. Extension on this one, which is rare. Apparently that guy didn't have a narrow front tractor to get to the blower. So he had an extension on there.
Good heavy gear underneath it again.
Absolutely. Is that an H&S or Myers gear? Myers.
Yep.
Must be Myers gears on the other two. Yeah.
Yep.
But this has big floats.
Yep.
Nice boxes. That's just a front unload. But still, nice box. As long as we're here, we got to talk about these kicker racks and that square baler. Here's a Wilmer fertilizer spreader too, if you're looking. A lot of guys are buying their own fertilizer down at the river and hauling it. But 570 New Holland. So this would make it probably around 90, 91, somewhere in there, I would guess. Knotters look like they're definitely updated.
Good color to it yet.
Hydraulic drive thrower, inoculant.
The same gentleman that owned the chopper boxes we looked at. Same
Really?
gentleman.
Same
Yep.
guy?
Yep.
Really, really nice. So B&B implement out of Mazeppa, that would kind of be his neck of the woods too.
No, this comes from over by Lonsdale.
Oh, that's right. Lonsdale.
Yep.
Wrong way. Yeah.
Wrong way.
But Myers kicker racks with really nice floors. They must have, did they replace the floors?
You know, as long as you kept them inside, they probably didn't get too bad.
Well, the stringers, okay, so I see a tag on the stringers yet, so these are really, really nice. Minnesota gears on all three of these racks, I think. But that's a Myers H&S and H&S.
Yep.
All nice floors, though.
All from the same farm.
Really, really nice stuff. Yeah, that guy had nice line of equipment, you know. And that's the stuff that's kind of cool. This isn't the high dollar items, but where do you find some of that really nice stuff?
Yep.
Like if you said I want to buy a kicker rack, it's not that hard to find a kicker rack, but they're gonna need floors
Or running gear.
or yeah, they're just old and shot.
Yeah.
And you know, same with these boxes. You know, they put new floors in all these boxes, so they're gonna work. And if you bought a brand new chopper box, I don't know that you could afford to buy a new 16-foot chopper box for anything. I mean, so really neat front and rear unload on these. Yeah. So if you want to make a pile or you got a bunker, you can still fill a bag or fill a silo. Once again, see, I need all this stuff. So this really caught my eye because the 125 mix-all. Don had one of these, really liked it. His had a scale and was hydraulic drive. This one is hydraulic drive. I don't know that it has a scale. It's no scale, but it's hydraulic drive, and it doesn't look rusty. Like this looks like a really, really nice old feed mill. And nice old feed mills are getting harder to locate now. They're just... Yeah, that's a really nice old Kill feed mill. Walk by this chopper without taking a look too. So 3970, but it's got the ground pressure hitch on it. So I had this on my 3950, and it's not a real common option. So to see that, it's kind of neat. 7.5 foot hay head. It's got metal alert on it, but really neat old chopper. And another really nice box. A later Myers box.
Both come off the same farm.
Okay.
All three of these in the row here.
Oh, the chopper and the...
Yep, both boxes are off the same farm.
Okay. So another Myers that's got the extension for getting in tighter. Yeah, the apron and the extension looks like it's been replaced. Or repainted. One of it looks like it's been replaced. But, you know, good old box. But this Myers is definitely a later one. Pretty nice. Big gear on it. Wow. There's probably only like 3 of you guys that are going to be excited about this. But I'm kind of excited. So this is a Model 100 and Southern Minnesota blower. Simon Implement, Belle Plaine, Minnesota, which is part of Midwest Machinery, I believe now. But so Deere would sell those shaker pan blowers. I think they were made by Cools, but this is like a New Holland Whirla feed. I don't know if this is the same thing as like a 28 New Holland or not. I guess I'm not super familiar with this style Deere blower, but I just kind of thought it was cool. And somebody out there is going to think it's cool too. But there's only like 2 people. Me and that guy, right? So here's something you don't see real often, but an IH, a later IH pull type chopper. And I don't know who made this? If IH did it, or is Heston? I don't know. New idea maybe, but look at that in Watertown. Kind of funny. So they were selling IH and Case before Case IH in Watertown there. That's really cool. But got a corn head for parts, and looks like a 2-row wide corn head. But I just figured we're here. You just don't see these, so we better look at it. But if you got some corn silage you want to put up, be willing to bet this is one of the cheaper ways you could. Buy the 560 to pull it. I'd give the 560 a workout.
I'd give the 560 a workout is right.
You'd find out if the TA works. He says the TA is good. So there you go. You know, you've got a really heavy-duty piece of any type of equipment when there's suitcase weights on it. And if you're wondering what this is a bin sweep. So this is a carry and bin sweep, right? You and the boy just crawl in the bin and carry this one in, right?
Well, you'd have to be awful strong to be just carrying it in. It's a day power paddle bin sweep.
So it's not an auger. But look at this thing. It's drive tires with suitcase weights. That is wild. So if you've got, this is a 30-footer, so like for a 60-foot diameter bin.
That's correct. It would be able to, it could be adjusted for different size bins. But,
okay. Well, you could probably take these sections out, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. And then just shorten up the apron.
Yep.
But steel casters on it, but those are the drive wheels. And obviously this goes around, this is to keep the chunks from getting in the motor.
Yep. It's a 5 horsepower, 3-phase motor. It's got the center flex frame, weight kit.
So if your bin installer did a really poor job in doing the floor and it needs to flex, you can.
Very unique item. You don't see it, a lot of them on a lot of different auctions.
No, this is a very expensive option for a new bin, which it can't have too much wear on it, just judging by the paint. I mean, it hasn't had a ton of grain hitting it and, taking all the paint off. So kind of cool, though. I looked at this. I'm like, what is that? Like I said, I'm not used to a bin sweep with suitcase weights on it, but kind of makes sense now. So, yeah, if you're building a bin, save yourself some money on this, So here's a head you don't see too much anymore. A 915, because by the 900 series, the 15-footer was kind of getting to be a small head. But this is a pretty nice straight old 915. And in case your combine's dial-o-matic doesn't work, at least it's still got the ball for the ground pressure, so you can run it manual. Bolted sickle with the updated hold downs on it, and that does, the cutter bar looks flat. It does not look like it's got a big wave to it. But, it's a older 915, but it sure looks pretty straight. And these are not real common heads nowadays. Everything went bigger. Pretty clean. Nice thing about these, you don't have to buy a header cart. Just drive up the road. So it'd be interesting to see how this sells, because these heads are getting hard to find that are clean, This is like a collector piece now. This is the early Kinsey folder planter design. This was his first folding planter. So this was era of the, when this sort of stuff was getting rolling. They're trying to figure out the best way to do a planter. So Kinsey developed this folding planter, and this is the early design. And you don't really see these. So it's kind of cool that there's still one around. hey, you need a bean planter? Here you go. But just neat that, you know, there's still one around like this. So pretty nice 479. You know, it's losing a little bit of the rubber on the rolls, but it's not rusted out real bad on the platform. Pretty nice paint and stuff. And these Haybines are getting really old, like really old. That's still kind of a nice one. So we're walking along, and I seen this truck. Actually, these three trucks kind of stand out to me a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're rust-free Arizona trucks or nothing. I'm not claiming that at all. This is Minnesota. But a 96 one-ton Silverado. Back when Silverado was the trim, not the actual truck. So a regular cab like that's pretty cool. And I'm a Dodge guy, but it's a half-ton. Still quad cab, neat truck. But this one here, so this is a 99 F250 with a 7.3 Power Stroke. And like I said, I'm not saying this thing is a clean one owner, never seen salt. It's rusty, but 7.3 Power Stroke. But you look, 6-speed manual transmission in a regular cab, 7.3 Power Stroke F250. That's just kind of cool. You know, 220,000 miles on it. I don't know. You're just breaking in a 7.3 at those miles. You know, she's rusty, but boy, you need a farm truck to have a farm kid that wants to drive something. Here you go.